All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever grabbed a beautiful ripe tomato, put it in the fridge, and a few days later, poof, it's lost all its flavor? Or maybe you've stored a loaf of fresh bread in the fridge thinking it would stay soft only to find it turn dry and tough overnight? If that sounds familiar, don't worry. You're not alone. For years, most of us were taught that the refrigerator is the ultimate food preserver. It's where milk stays fresh, leftovers last longer, and meats stay safe. But the truth is, some foods actually go bad faster in the fridge. That's right. Instead of keeping them fresh, cold temperatures ruin their texture, weaken their flavors, and shorten their shelf life. So today, we're going to uncover the most surprising foods you should never refrigerate. I'll explain why the fridge is the wrong place for them, and I'll show you exactly how to store them the right way. And if you stick around until the end, I'll also share some bonus food storage tips that will make your groceries last longer, taste better, and save you money. So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive in. 1. Tomatoes. The one mistake that ruins their flavor. Let's start with a big one. Tomatoes. Now, I don't know about you, but I grew up with the taste of fresh, homegrown tomatoes. Sweet, juicy, and full of flavor. My grandmother used to pick them right from the vine and slice them up for sandwiches. But if you've ever bought tomatoes from the store, put them in the fridge, and later found them soft, grainy, and tasteless, well, there's a reason for that. Why you shouldn't refrigerate tomatoes. Tomatoes are delicate fruits. The cold temperature in the fridge messes with their natural ripening process. Instead of staying juicy and flavorful, their cell structure breaks down, making them mealy and bland. How to store them the right way. Keep tomatoes at room temperature on the counter. If they need to ripen, place them in a paper bag with a banana or an apple. The ethylene gas from the fruit will speed up ripening. Once they're ripe, use them within a few days for the best taste. So next time you come home from the store, give your tomatoes a chance to shine. Keep them out of the fridge. 2. Potatoes. Don't turn them into sugar. Now, let's talk about potatoes. Have you ever cooked a potato and noticed it tasted oddly sweet? That's because you stored it in the fridge. When potatoes get too cold, their natural starches turn into sugar, which affects the taste and texture. Instead of being firm and fluffy when cooked, they become gritty and overly sweet. How to store potatoes correctly. Keep them in a cool, dark, and dry place, like a pantry, basement, or a paper bag. Avoid plastic bags. They trap moisture and cause potatoes to rot faster. And here's a big one. Never store potatoes next to onions. Onions release gases that make potatoes spoil quicker. 3. Onions. Stop them from getting mushy. Speaking of onions, let's clear something up. Have you ever pulled an onion out of the fridge only to find it soft, moldy, or, worse, smelling up the entire fridge? Cold temperatures don't just make onions mushy. They actually speed up the spoilage process by trapping moisture inside the layers. The right way to store. Onions. Store them in a well-ventilated area, like a mesh bag or an open basket. Keep them away from potatoes. Remember, they don't get along. If you've already sliced an onion, wrap it tightly and store it in the fridge, but only for a few days. 4. Garlic. Keep it dry and flavorful. Now, I love garlic. I use it in everything from sauces to soups. But if you've ever stored garlic in the fridge and found it turning rubbery or sprouting faster, here's why. Garlic hates moisture. When stored in the fridge, it starts sprouting quickly and loses its strong, delicious flavor. How to store garlic properly. Keep garlic in a dry, cool place with plenty of air circulation, like a hanging mesh bag or a basket in your pantry. Stored this way, garlic can last for weeks, even months. 5. Bread. Why the fridge dries it out. Now let's bust one of the biggest food storage myths out there. Storing bread in the fridge. It seems logical, right? The fridge keeps things fresh, so it should keep bread fresh longer. But in reality, Refrigeration actually speeds up the staling process. Instead of staying soft, bread becomes dry, hard, and unappetizing. How to keep bread fresh longer. Store bread in a bread box or a cool, dry spot on the counter. If you won't eat it within a few days, freeze it. Bread freezes beautifully. Just pull out a slice or two as needed. 6 bananas. The secret to a perfectly ripe banana. Ever bought a bunch of bananas, put them in the fridge, and notice the peels turned black overnight? That's because bananas don't like the cold. The fridge stops their ripening process in its tracks and makes them look unappetizing, even though they're still okay to eat inside. Now, if you're someone in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, I know you've seen a lot of changes over the years. How we cook, how we store food, even how we shop for groceries. And while some of those old habits served us well back in the day, others, like tossing everything into the fridge, might be costing us flavor, freshness, and even money. But here's the beautiful part. It's never too late to learn something new. By simply storing a few everyday foods the right way, you can enjoy better tasting meals, waste less, and stretch your grocery budget a little further. And I don't know about you, but I love anything that saves me money while making my food taste even better. So the next time you're unpacking your groceries, remember, some things just weren't made for the fridge. Give your tomatoes their flavor back, keep your bread soft and fresh, and let your garlic shine like it was meant to. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend or neighbor, and don't forget to subscribe for more practical, friendly tips made just for you. Take care of yourself, and as always, stay curious, stay wise, and stay wonderfully you.